Hey, and welcome back to my channel. It is Wednesday. It was chilly here in Georgia last week. It has warmed up. Praise Jesus. Anyway, welcome back to our channel. Today, my name is Carmen, by the way. And I am a former weight loss failure. Just 6 years ago, I was 161 pounds heavier than I am today. I topped the scale at 288 pounds, literally busting out of a size 22, shimmying myself into Spanx under everything, even yoga pants. And I was the person who you would see setting the same New Year's resolution every single year. I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna lose weight. I was the person watching everybody else, it seemed, around me succeed, and I was the one struggling. I was the one hopping from diet to diet, losing 20 only to gain 25 back. And it wasn't until after we had our second child that I read a statistic that linked obesity in parents to their kids. And in that moment, I realized, because I was the parent that said, I'm overweight, but my kids won't be. I'm overweight, but I am not going to raise overweight kids. I'm going to eat the cheesecake, but they're going to eat the carrot. And I know that sounds so silly, but in my heart of hearts, like, I really believed that I could be morbidly obese and raise skinny kids. And it was that night, thumbing through that parenting magazine right after our second child had been born, that I read that statistic. And in that moment, I knew enough was enough. This was bigger than just me wanting to wear a bikini. This was bigger than just me wanting to lose weight. This was really about my kids and about the example that I was setting for them. In that moment, I made a decision. I got started the very next day on a hope, a whim, a prayer, never knowing if this morbidly obese woman could succeed at weight loss, if I could ever be little, if I could ever wear a bikini. To make a long story short, I lost 161 pounds in 13 months, which is more than I weigh today. I am a mom of 3. We have a almost 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a newborn who is a lot of times in here with me when I'm doing videos. So mom life, right? Any moms I know completely get it. And so anyway, because if I leave her upstairs and the almost 6-year-old little girl hears her cry, she likes to play mom. And no matter how many times I tell her, she'll be like trying to stick the pacifier in her mouth, I'm like, babe, like, she's 5 and she has the best intentions, but I don't exactly trust my newborn baby girl with her. And I shouldn't, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and jump in. So today I am a health coach. Today I help other men and women lose weight. I help them go from where I was, which is floundering and struggling and failing and, riding the struggle bus. You ever rode the struggle bus? It's kind of bumpy. Riding the struggle bus, having no results, to succeeding wildly inside of weight loss, to sculpting a body, losing weight. Because what I have learned over the past 6 years of not only losing that weight, but maintaining a size 2 and helping hundreds and thousands of other people do the very same thing is it was never as hard as I thought it was going to be. Yes, it was hard. Yes, it was hard. But it was never as hard as I thought it was going to be. And look, I wasn't that chick, and I'm not knocking this chick. If you're that chick, that's cool. But it's not like I just had 10 pounds to lose, right? Like, I had a whole person to lose. And so it took me 13 months to do it, but today I have maintained that for more than 4 years, even through having another little baby. I got pregnant, I got skinny, then I got pregnant, and then I had that fun challenge of getting back. So anyway, today I want to talk to you about a common myth in the weight loss world. I want to talk to you about one of the things that I used to do that used to keep me stuck on the struggle bus. It used to keep me stuck, failing, waiting to start, waiting to do whatever. And we just crossed through the new year. And so I know many of you are not waiting. Many of you just made a New Year's resolution to lose weight. That 2020, you were going to get healthy, or you were going to lose weight, or you were going to lose the last 5 or 10 pounds, or you were going to stop yo-yoing, or you were going to get back into that size 6 or 10 or 20 or whatever it is, or you were actually just going to get started. Whatever your New Year's resolution was, getting healthy and losing weight is the #1 New Year's resolution. We live in a country where more than 70% of us are overweight and don't want to be. So many times when we're overweight, Like, we feel alone. And it's so funny to me because we live in a country where more than 7 out of 10 of us are overweight. We struggle with our weight. So if you ever look in the mirror and you feel alone, just remember you're not. You're actually not in the minority, you're in the majority. Most people just don't talk about it. Most people, weight is like this secret little thing that we shame ourselves for. Most of the time we look in the mirror and we don't feel great, we don't feel amazing, we don't feel sexy, we don't feel confident, but then we just don't talk about it. We put on a smile and just pretend. And that's what I do. That's what many of my clients that I've worked with have done, but it doesn't have to be that way. But what I used to do, and I believe this kept me stuck for like a decade, this kept me stuck as a weight loss failure. It didn't allow me to see success. It didn't allow me to reach my weight loss goals at all. And that was waiting for the big thing. Like, I would wait to get started. Like, I would look at my life, I would look at my schedule, and I would say, okay, like, the Tuesday next month after, Johnny gets done with his little karate class, I have some time freeing up. Maybe then I'll start going to the gym. Once we get rid of all this holiday candy and we get the holiday candy out of the house, then I'll start my diet. Once we get through Valentine's Day, then that'll be perfect time. When my boss lightens up this workload, then I will start. And so, we wait for the sun, the moon, and the stars to all line up before we ever get started. We wait for this perfect pocket of time before we think we have time to go to the gym, before we think we have time to meal prep, before we think we have time to do all those things. And what I'm gonna tell you is it's never about having the time. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. And this was a really big aha moment for me. This was like a really big, like, hello, Carmen, moment for me. Because I would look around at everybody who was succeeding at weight loss and I would be like, oh yeah, but they're not a mom of 2. When I started my weight loss journey, I had a 15-month-old and a newborn. So I had a toddler and a newborn. And so I would be like, yeah, but all those people are succeeding. I was also helping my husband run several companies and doing all the accounting on those. And I would think, yeah, but those people that are succeeding, they have more time. I'm like a busy mom helping my husband. Or I would think, oh, those people that work out, they just must love it. Because I would always see these like endorphin loving, come on, you're one workout away from a good mood. And I, at morbidly obese, 288 pounds, was not that person. I believed that God made those people who love to work out, and then he made me. I did not like to work out at all. And of course I was 288 pounds. When I worked out, everything jiggled. When I worked out, everything moved, everything shook. It was certainly not a pleasurable experience at all. And I could always look for reasons to talk myself out of doing a workout. I could always look for reasons to talk myself into the ice cream. I could always look for reasons to talk myself into what I shouldn't be doing and talk myself out of what I should be doing. I cannot be the only one who's ever done this, right? Doing the thing you shouldn't be doing is always easier than doing the thing you shouldn't be doing. And I would always wait for the moments where I could do the big thing. Like when I have a couple months set aside and I can commit to going to the gym every day, then I'll do it. When I can get to a place where I'm not stressed and I can cut sugar completely out, and eat none of it, then. And I was always looking for these really big milestones. I was always looking for these really big things that I could do because in my mind, I wanted these big results. Like at morbidly obese, losing 5 pounds wasn't even gonna make a dent in where I wanted to go health-wise. Like I had a lot more than 5 pounds to lose. And so I had these big results. In fact, the results that I wanted seemed like Mount Everest. They seemed gigantic. They seemed freaking huge. Have you ever set a goal and you just looked up at the goal and you thought, oh my goodness, this goal seems mammoth. This goal seems huge. This goal seems insurmountable. It seems like I don't even know, it makes me nervous even talking about it because it's so big. That was my goal. and I had to lose. My goal was to lose more than I was gonna weigh. I had never been that size before. I was not one of those little tiny chicks that just gained some weight after high school or gained some weight after college. I've always been overweight and eventually becoming, topping the scale at 288 pounds, typically being the largest person in the room. And so this goal was a big goal. So in my mind, to accomplish this big goal, then I must have to do these big things. And so I was always looking at what could I do. And if I didn't have something big that I was going to do or commit to, like going to the gym every day, then I was never going to get to my goal. And what I've learned is success isn't all the big things you do, all the big changes you make. Success is all the little things. All the little things added together create the big change. All the before and afters that you see where you're like, wow, they didn't wait for the perfect time. It was nothing big that they did, but it was all the little things they did every single day. There is never gonna be a perfect time for you to lose the weight. You're never gonna just be gifted this, especially if you're a mom or you work or if you just are an adult and you're busy adulting, people are always going to pull on you and want you to go in this direction or that direction. And one of the biggest mistakes I made was waiting, thinking that sometime eventually I will just get the time. And I never did. It wasn't until I carved out the time and I made the time that I had the time. So it's not about having the time, it's about making the time. And so it's the little things like drinking the extra water. It's the little things like taking 1 scoop of potatoes versus 2 scoops of potatoes. It's the little things like drinking water instead of the soda. It's the little things like, hey, I chose to use the stairs today instead of the elevator. I chose to park at the nosebleed section at Walmart versus right up front. It's the little things of, I chose to not drive through the drive-thru on the way home tonight. I chose to have 1 piece of pizza versus 3. It's all these little changes that you make that lead to the big results. Because here's the deal. You didn't get overweight by making big, gigantic changes. You didn't go from eating like a nerd. You didn't go from eating 1,200 calories to 4,000 calories overnight. Chances are it happened little by little, half pound by half pound, pound by pound. For me, it was gaining 10 to 15 pounds a year ever since I left high school. So you gain 10 pounds a year, and that winds up to 100 pounds in 10 years. So it was, I didn't all of a sudden go to bed one night and then the next morning wake up 50 pounds overweight. That would be a little bit alarming. Might shock me a little bit. You get out of bed in the morning, you're like, whoa! So that's not how it happened. It happens little by little. It's little bad choices followed by another little bad choice, followed by another little bad choice. That's how you wind up overweight. That's how you wind up unhealthy. Well, it's the same way in reverse. It's the same way in reverse. It's just little choice after little choice after little choice, little decision after little decision. And if you do that consistently, day after day, just like, look, no one likes to hear this because it's way more fun to gain the weight than it is to lose the weight. But you have to consistently overeat to wind up overweight. I used to be that overweight person that was like, I don't eat that bad. I know you've probably never said that. You might know somebody like me who said that. I was the overweight person who really thought I didn't eat that bad. I was morbidly obese, and I would actually tell people, I don't eat that bad. I eat pretty healthy. Lord knows what they must have thought in their brain as they were looking at my morbidly obese body. And I'm telling them, yeah, I eat pretty healthy. But it was eating bad consistently over time that led me to morbidly obese. So it's making good decisions consistently over time that's going to lead you to whatever size it is that you want to be. And so some of those little decisions that you can start doing today. Drinking more water is a really, really good one. You should be drinking half of your weight in water every single day. So for simple math, if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be drinking 100 fluid ounces of water every single day. Getting 8 hours of sleep. Really simple. It's something simple that you can start with. It actually, studies have shown if you're not getting at least 7 hours of sleep per night, your metabolism goes into a groggy mode and it doesn't burn as fast, which means the food you're eating doesn't get metabolized and it actually stores as fat on your body quicker. It is, filling your plate with half vegetables, half protein or quarter protein, and then a quarter of whatever else it is that you're having. Like, that's just a really simple thing. Just put an extra scoop of vegetables on your plate. Not eating past 6 or 7 o'clock at night. Again, another really simple thing. Not going through the drive-thru. And again, I love me some Taco Bell. Do not judge me on Taco Bell. I know some people are, there's like two things with it. Either people are like, I love Taco Bell, or they're like, ew, gross, it's dog food. Like, look, I have a dog. I have a little Yorkie that I love. She was like my first, she made me a fur mom. Like, she was my fur baby. She still is. But anyway, I love Taco Bell. Taco Bell's good. And I see her dog food. I feed her every day. Her dog food don't look like no chalupa. Anyway, and so I love me some fast food. I ain't knocking fast food. I still eat fast food. I just don't do it every single day. And so it's a culmination of these little tiny things that are going to lead you to a big result. I am a girl who's all about balance. I didn't lose 161 pounds by cutting out carbs. I didn't lose 161 pounds by cutting out sugar. I didn't lose 161 pounds by cutting out pizza. I still love a double cheeseburger. I still love bacon. I still love chocolate cake. I still love tacos. I just have to eat good 80% of the time and then enjoy the foods that I love 20% of the time. And using that logic, using that formula, I lost 161 pounds in 13 months. I've maintained a size 2 by still eating Christmas cookies, still drinking hot cocoa, still eating pizza, still eating, Christmas candy and caramel, or what's that stuff called? The little orange things at Halloween. Oh, candy corn. Our Target had it for 29 cents a bag after Halloween. Gobs of it. I bought 4 bags of it. I know, it's really bad, but it's all gone now. So it's no longer screaming my name. But anyway, so it's having those things and not feeling guilty about it. I didn't eat it every day. But 80-20. So I'm an 80-20 girl. So I don't believe you should be cutting out any food groups. I don't believe you have to. I believe when you start cutting food groups out and you start getting rid of all those things, then you're basically just gonna set yourself up to fail. You're gonna set yourself up to do good, and then put it all in your mouth. Do good, and then go binge. Do good, and then fall off the wagon. Versus if you just have balance and you're not trying to cut all those things out and you're doing little things here and there, instead of trying to expect yourself to be perfect, eating no sugar, drinking all your water, doing amazing in your workouts, don't expect yourself to go from overweight to skinny overnight. It takes time to change. It takes time to create new habits. So start celebrating the little changes you're making and stop beating yourself up for the things you're not doing. Celebrate the things you are and stop beating yourself up for the things you're not, because the things you are, it's doing the small things over and over again. And by the way, they get easier. The more you do them, the easier they get, that are going to equal the big result. And I am living, walking proof. And look, if I can go from 288 pounds, morbidly obese, a weight loss failure, jumping around from diet to diet, busting out of a size 22, then let that serve as some inspiration, some motivation, hey, if that chick on YouTube can do this after failing for a decade, then just maybe I can too. And so don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell up at the top so you get notified every time we upload. And we are live every single Tuesday night as well. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.